help you and other children. So it doesn't change. And it's Roseanne was into this QAnon thing, and we hear these words lately on the news like radicalization or extremism, and I think that it's safe to say right now at this point in our country that we do have a problem with extremism, and it's going to look different for different people. Me personally, for the last year, I've been trying to wrestle with my own thoughts and emotions and feeling and anger even, and I think that trauma for a lot of people can be a path to extremism, and we really just need to address some of the issues that we've been having as a country. Over the next couple of years, we're having midterm elections, the next presidential election, and I really wanted to say to everybody, I have a lot of conservative friends and family, and half of our family are conservative, half of our family aren't. My friends that are conservative think I'm liberal, and my liberal and progressive friends think that I'm conservative. But what I want to really say is whether you cast a vote for the Republican Party or for the Democratic Party, you're not talking about the enemy. You're talking about your friends, your family members, your coworkers, and your neighbors. And I think it's important that we all remember that, as we move forward together as a family or as a community and as a country over the next couple of years.
Justin and Lana Cave, I just want to say thank you very much to you. I know how difficult this time of year has been, and thank you for letting me tell your story. At the same time, I do want to tell everyone, if you haven't already, be sure to check out the MSNBC original podcast, American Radical. It is a five-part investigation into Roseanne Boyland's life and radicalization and her ultimate death at the Capitol. All five episodes are out now wherever you get your podcasts, or you can scan the QR code on your screen now. Still ahead, many Americans watch the insurrection play out live on TV, but imagine being inside the House chamber at the time. I'm going to speak with freshman Congresswoman Sarah Jacobs about her experience next. Plus, Ted Cruz came under fire this week from the right after accurately labeling the Capitol assault a terrorist attack. We'll take a look at why we should be labeling the insurrectionists as domestic terrorists. But first, Richard Louie is here with the latest on that massive and heartbreaking story out of New York City. Hey, Richard.
Hey, thanks, Eamon. Yeah, we have the latest on cause and casualties. The 120-unit building saw injuries on all 19 floors. Some 200 firefighters were at the five-alarm fire. Our NBC's Kathy Park has more.
Officials say that this is one of the deadliest fires in New York City history. The fire broke out shortly after 11 o'clock this morning and was knocked out around 1 o'clock. This was a five-alarm fire but did some extensive damage. The fire officials are telling us that it started somewhere on the second or third floor, and while the fire spread quickly, so did the smoke. 19 confirmed dead, 9 of them being children, 10 adults. Several people are suffering from smoke inhalation at this hour. Right now, officials say that this is still under investigation, but early reports suggest that the fire was sparked by a malfunctioning space heater. Tonight, the community is in mourning. This is a largely immigrant population, and the Red Cross is on site to register the displaced. Back to you.
Kathy, thank you for that. And now we're following the tragic death of comedian and actor Bob Saget at the age of 65. According to the Orange County, Florida Sheriff's Office, he was found dead in his hotel room earlier today. Detectives found no signs of foul play or drug use. More Eamon with Eamon Mohideen right after this.
Selling a home is expensive and stressful, so we set out to create a better home selling experience with a network of the most successful real estate agents in America that'll sell your home for as little as a 2% commission.
The icing on the cake with the Ideal Agent was that we saved $12,000 in commissions.
We would definitely use Ideal Agent again. The whole process was so positive for us.
Excellent service. Getting right to the point, hiring Ideal Agent, I wish we would have done that sooner, and we would have saved 6 months of time and mortgage payments that would have probably never happened if we would have just gone with them first.
They were so stress-free. The whole process was amazing, and I would definitely recommend them.
We certainly recommend Ideal Agent now to all of our family, all of our friends. It's just a great experience.
We are not a discount brokerage. These are top local agents that'll get you the best results.
When your hands hurt, you can't function. Until now. Introducing the new Copperfit compression gloves with sure grip technology to give you more power, more control, and more agility than ever. Copper-infused compression fabric woven into an ultra-lightweight performance glove that supports relief and recovery of sore muscles and painful joint stiffness. And new sure grip bands built in provide a strong, non-slip grip.
They relieve my pain. The support or whatever magic these things do, I don't know what it is. It doesn't matter to me what it is. It works.
Relief from painful muscle and joint soreness. Guaranteed or your money back. Call 1-800-233-7510 or on the web at getcopperfitgloves.com for only $19.99. Order right now and your shipping is free.
While I'm wearing this, I do not have any pain. I can use it on the keyboard, I can use my phone. I love this glove.
Ask for it by name. Copperfit compression gloves.
When our daughter and her kids moved in with us, our bargain detergent couldn't keep up.
Turns out it's mostly water.
So we switched back to Tide. One wash, stains are gone.
Don't pay for water. Pay for clean. It's gotta be Tide. Ready to start saving on organic groceries? We thought so. Hi, we're Thrive Market. We guarantee savings on healthy groceries and home essentials, so you get the highest quality products without the big retail markups. Get up to $100 of free groceries at thrivemarket.com/TV.
I was under incredible stress. Couldn't sleep. Constant headaches. Told my friend and he said, you should take up golf.
Is here and I needed it because my fridge is super empty. I'm gonna open the box. That's the exciting part. Hungry Road came through and my refrigerator is packed.
I know what I've gone through to be here.
It's been quite a journey. Appreciating how awesome it is to be an athlete representing Team USA.
And everything that goes into it.
Never giving up, telling yourself, let's go, let's go. I just want to know that I gave it my all.
To prove to myself that I can be amazing. Yeah.
How far you go begins with how far you're willing to go. Delta is proud to be the official airline of Team USA.
January 6th was my 4th day in office. January 6th was my first time ever to the House Gallery. My team had to walk me there because I didn't know how to get through the Capitol yet. I'll never forget the buzzing of the escape hoods, the fear when I couldn't open the packaging, the sound of the doors closing and being locked, introducing myself to my colleagues as we were hiding under the chairs, Annie Custer grabbing my hand, fashioning weapons out of stanchions and pens and my high heels, ready to take on the rioters who were banging on the doors behind us.
That was California Representative Sarah Jacobs, and last January, Jacobs was just one of the 64 House freshmen who arrived in Washington, D.C. for the first time, eager to serve their country and constituents. But new job jitters would quickly take a turn when just days into the freshman's term, as you heard there, their new workplace would become the scene of a violent and deadly insurrection. Congresswoman Sarah Jacobs joins me now. Congresswoman, thank you so much for your time. It has been a year. How do you feel a year later? What reflections have you had about what this year has been for you?
Well, thank you so much for having me on. Obviously, this last week was a really tough anniversary for our country and for me personally. I'm very grateful that I had a therapist prior to January 6th of last year that I've worked with to process the trauma of what happened. And I think it's important to note that whether you experienced it firsthand or whether you watched it on TV, we all collectively suffered a trauma, and I hope that people are getting the help and support that they need. But it really clarified for me the job, which is that it's not about the policy disagreements we may have with each other as important as those are, it really is about whether we are doing what we need to do to protect and preserve our democracy. That's the job right now.
You spoke to my colleagues at NBC News about how that day shaped your view of the work that goes inside the Capitol. In part, you said they tried to kill me here on my 4th day. Of course, I don't feel the same kinds of warm and fuzzies about this place. Talk to me a little bit about that. How has your experience and the experience that you went through on January 6th impacted how you serve, what your priorities are as a congresswoman?
Yeah, it's obviously clouded everything, and in the beginning, it was really hard to go back sometimes. That night after the attack, I went and sat on the House floor and watched the rest of the proceedings, and I felt like it was really important for me, not only because it was important that we did our constitutional duty, but that I didn't have the last memory of that place being this catastrophic thing that had happened. And so for me, it really highlights the importance of the work. It really clarifies what we need to be doing. And it really has taught me just how fragile our democracy is and how much more work we need to do to shore it up.
You previously worked at the State Department dealing with extremism actually in other countries. Did you ever think that something like this would happen, could happen here in the United States? And are we doing enough to prevent it from happening again, both on the prevention of radicalism and extremism, as well as an insurrection or an attempted coup?
You know, I never thought it would happen here. I guess looking back, it's clear that there were some serious warning signs and fault lines that should have given us some clues that it might be possible. When we look at these kinds of political violence, what we often talk about is individuals who will mobilize around the fault lines in a society. And so I think for me it's clear that we need to hold anyone accountable who incited, encouraged, or committed these acts of violence. When we look overseas, it's clear that immediate accountability from a first attempt is incredibly important in making sure we don't have future such attempts. But that also, we will never really be able to move forward if we don't get to the truth of what happened, and if we don't have an honest reckoning of our past as a country, both the gory and the glory, and the racial injustice that has been a through line of it all, so that we can come together as a country and move forward with a common narrative. That's the only way we'll be able to really get to unity, and that's what I and my colleagues are focused on doing.
Congresswoman, do you ever regret running for office? Because even before January the 6th, serving in Congress had become increasingly dangerous. In 2017, Representative Scalise was shot at a congressional baseball game. You also have colleagues of yours, like Representative Ilhan Omar, who receive death threats almost daily. They have additional protection. Did that ever make you say, what did I get myself into? Why did I run for this position?
Look, it's certainly a difficult job, and there have certainly been difficult days since January 6th as I've processed the trauma of what happened to me and to our country. But I also feel so honored that the people of the 53rd Congressional District in California have entrusted me to help lead them in this historic time, and I take that very seriously, and I focus on that every day when I go to work.
And let me ask you finally, kind of looking ahead, do you think what happened at the Capitol will motivate people to come out in the midterms? How do you feel about your party's chances, given that you're a year into it and everything that has played out, what you guys are trying to achieve, what the party's trying to achieve, and what has been stonewalled by the Republicans so far? How do you think your party will do come the midterms?
Look, I think it's incredibly important that we recognize that protecting our democracy is not a partisan thing. It's going to take all of us, regardless of our political party, coming together and deciding that our democracy is worth preserving. And I hope that voters, when it comes time, will vote for candidates who support our democracy and support our electoral processes and support the will of the people being what gets implemented, regardless of their political party. And I feel hopeful that we will see that.
All right, California Congresswoman Sarah Jacobs, thank you so much for your time. We're grateful that we had a chance to spend some time with you this week. Thank you. When we come back, we're going to take a look at why Fox News host Sean Hannity's texts ahead of January 6th are actually terrifying. Don't go anywhere.